Confidence is rare because honesty just got cancelled. You can't walk confidently in a world that punishes truth. I mean, the moment you speak your mind, you're labeled negative, toxic, or even arrogant. So people shrink themselves to survive in this life. But real confidence, it comes from saying the uncomfortable thing anyway.
There's no better time to bring that up than right after the streaming awards, man. Oh my god, it was such a pathetic display of pussies, bro. Oh my god. I don't know what happened. I must have missed the patch notes where suddenly being honest and truthful meant that you were being a phobic hater. I don't know where I was for this, but it's so pathetic to see the online space, to see people in general, in businesses, in your own families. So many people are afraid to tell the truth. Honesty is viewed as villainous. Can you believe it? An act of true virtue is seen as villainous because you're telling people what they don't want to hear. The truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth anymore. And there's no better way or no better display than the streamer awards. Everybody has things they want to say so bad. And these streamers, they really tried to make these jokes, these really harsh jokes. And they said it, the delivery is pathetic. They said it, and then they'd apologize right after, or they'd be so scared in the delivery. Say it. Everybody wants to say it. I don't think any of the jokes they said people weren't actually thinking. Say it and own that shit. It's it's so ridiculous. People have zero confidence nowadays to be honest people. They're scared of backlash. They're scared of being hated. They want to say the most PR thing imaginable. They don't actually believe that shit. It's such a rare thing to see people actually be honest. And that's why there are a certain handful of content creators I actually really like, even though they get villainized by communities constantly. I don't understand why these people want to exist in these echo chambers and just have people lie to them. I don't understand the appeal of being lied to. And trust me, I come from that background. I wanted to be lied to. Looking back at it now makes me sick. I feel so much more confidence and conviction in myself and in what I say because I root my thoughts and my ideas in reality.
And a lot of people misunderstand this. Being confident and saying the truth is one thing, but where people get confused with is by just being blatantly rude and then saying, oh no, but I'm just honest and open. No, you're just a bitch.
And some people might not be sure how confidence and honesty are linked. So let me give it to you straight, right? True confidence often comes from being authentic and transparent, not just with other people, but with yourself. If honesty is suppressed or because of the whole cancel culture, so you cancel honesty, then your confidence becomes harder to sustain because of the risks of backlash. You have less conviction in the things you're saying. And I mean, you see the evidence, right? The streamer awards, you see all these streamers, what's her name? QT and Fan, and I don't know who else they had talking at this event. I didn't watch it. I just saw clips of all the jokes. But they seem so scared to say jokes that everyone was thinking, or at the very least, majority of people were thinking at some point. Honestly, I think that a lot of jokes they were saying was funny, but they had so little confidence in the execution that it came off as cringe. And it's such a shame because that is the society that's been cultivated now. We live in a climate where blunt honesty is penalized. It's looked down upon. You are alienated for being honest, for showing that honesty. And so, whether it's on social media outrage or workplace politics or the fear of offending people or offending minorities, people self censor. They self censor and their confidence feels performative rather than genuine because they're scared of the risk of backlash. Nobody says what they mean. Nobody does what they mean. One of the best lines that I feel like really encapsulates the what society has become now. It's from a nerdcore rap, but the line goes, "Everybody's standing on their words, but never stood up." And to explain what that means, it means that people rely on statements, promises, words. Talking is their foundation. All they ever do is talk. Their credibility rests only on words. But these words mean nothing because they never stood up. They never take action and never show or defend these words when challenged. They don't embody them in real life. The words are a lie. It is false. Standing on your words is false confidence. Standing up, when you stood up, that is you taking action. You are embodying what you say and what you feel and what you think. You take full accountability for it. There's no excuses. There's no PR shit. There's no backpedaling. You say what you mean, what you say might sound mean, but you say it anyways. Stand up for what you think and feel.
That's the thing. When you say something with confidence, it's not always something that's mean. Yes, you get the people, like I said previously, that just say mean stuff and say, "Oh, no, I just speak my mind." Like, no, bitch. But a lot of people get it wrong, where someone's just speaking how they genuinely feel and they're confident about their opinion. It's not a bad thing, but it gets reflected as a bad thing. And that is what society has painted everything now, just because of someone saying something else and being confident with it. Silly example. Let's talk about food and nutrition. A person that's qualified, dietitian, any other fancy word with that, but they're qualified and they are legally allowed to give advice on what a person should eat and shouldn't eat based on what their goals are and what their situation is. Now, that person, so the dietitian speaks confidently because they've had 5 years, 10 years experience. That's the confidence is even bigger and they're qualified. But then someone will go and be like, "Oh no, but I saw this one Google thing the other day that I researched," or AI said, "No, I mustn't do that because that is good, or that is good for the heart, or that is bad for the heart, or whatever the case is." That's wrong. And then that's that. Now the dietitian, which has got all the qualifications and experience, is now being labeled as something that's wrong, and that's the problem.
And I don't want to make this like a one size fits all kind of thing, but everything in life, everything that we talk about, it is incredibly nuanced. There's no one way solution to everything. There are millions of different angles you could take, different talking points or different ideology or different ideas. You can take it in any direction, and it really depends on you. But the important thing is that you take the time to educate yourself on what all of these things mean so that you can come to a true conclusion on how you feel, how you think, and how you act. There are lots of different ways that people could misconstrue this thought of true confidence being rooted in honesty, because you could base your confidence solely on opinions that are factually wrong, right? And we could go into the conversation of what true confidence, what false confidence is. And true confidence is a matter of being rooted in reality. But the main takeaway that I would like for people to take from this broadcast is the fact that no matter what your views are, no matter what your thoughts are, wear them on your sleeve, be honest, own those ideas, own those words, take up action to demonstrate your conviction. Be an honest, confident person, even if it makes you out to be a bad person. Maybe that means that you should seek to better yourself as an individual. But no matter what, society has popularized being liars. Everybody lies. Content creators that say they care, they don't. Political figures or famous individuals or even people in your own circle, a lot of them don't care. A lot of them aren't truthful. And it's because society rewards people for lying, rewards people for living false identities with false ideals, to stand up on their words, but never really stand up. They get rewarded. And to be honest, before we as people destroy ourselves, we need to put a stop to it. We need to stop rewarding these people. We need to stop engaging, stop surrounding ourselves and praising people for rat-like behavior. Because eventually humanity is going to end up destroying itself. We don't have to wait for any meteors to come down and destroy us. We're going to do that on our own. No matter what your views are, let it be the honest you. Have confidence in the things you say and the way you think. Take responsibility for it. And if necessary, try to be a better person. Stop living in these false realities, in these false worlds, in these echo chambers, in these fantasy lands, and come to terms with reality. Because I guarantee you this, there would be so many more people happy with life if they stopped trying to run away from it all the time. If they stopped trying to escape reality, escape life, and instead try and find the honesty and beauty of life itself.